Hey guys, my name is Jonathan with Brown Janitorial Services, and today I'm going to provide to you guys free value, so stay tuned. Okay, so when it comes to owning a business, my name is Jonathan with Brown Janitorial Services, and I am the owner. When it comes to rough patches, I've been through a lot of them, and I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I don't have many more hurdles to go through. Let's back up a little bit. I'm presenting to you guys free value, but this free value comes in the form of the losses and not necessarily the wins for the company. Okay, so let's speak on let's speak on the most recent occurrence that was a loss. All right, yesterday, for example, we were notified by the manager of a huge chain of discount furniture stores to Minnesota that we do not have the contract anymore. But this did not come from the owner, quote unquote, of the contract. This came from the manager of the store of the contract. I'll back up and I'll go ahead and move forward. So, we recently were told within 2 weeks ago prior to today, that we had this account, big furniture store. I'm not going to mention the name, but that we were told to go check out the facilities, take pictures, and do everything that we needed to in order to get the contract. So we did that. Myself included. I went out to Woodbury and I went out to Maple Grove to take pictures of this facility. And after taking pictures of the facility, I sent them over to the actual owner of the commercial cleaning contract. It was kind of fishy to me why, he had us doing all of these different things. But, because this is the type of nature of the business, sometimes you have to do different things that kind of are jumping through hurdles in order to get the contract. But whatever. So we wind up taking pictures of the facility, inside of the facility, outside of the facility, the actual physical name of the building, or whatever the case may be, everything. We sent the pictures off, and we were emailed and told that we were the ones to receive the contract. So, that was an exciting part of 2 weeks ago, because when it comes to business, you can't really get excited about something, or hung up, I should say, on one thing or another, especially when it comes to building a business, because we're nowhere near where we want to be. So we continue to push. With that being said, every contract that we get, we're grateful for, but we're coming into it with the game plan of do better than we did the day before, or do better than we did the last contract that we had, because we're in competition with ourselves, and we want to continue to grow. Not only grow with the customers, but grow in ourselves internally, and make that shine throughout every job that we do, whether it's residential or commercial. Okay, so we took the pictures. After taking the pictures, we sent them off to the contractor. After taking the contractor's word that we verifiably got the job based on the bid and the location and everything that we did for the job, a week goes by, and we're waiting, because the place doesn't actually open up for us to clean until today. Today, I'm not going to mention the date or the time, just know it's today. So long story short, we were notified by the manager of the store that someone else came in who has the contract. And I'm like, okay, so how is that possible if we were told that we have the contract? On top of that, we did so many different things, so many moving parts to get the contract. So after doing my due diligence to actually contact the contractor of the job, he confirms that we do not have the contract, and they decided to go another way. Now, there's two things that's wrong with that whole situation, is because you don't tell somebody that they have the contract after everything that they've done, and then say that you decide to go another way. Because if you decide to go another way, you should, be upfront and transparent about it. This is business, this is the name of the game. But what you don't do is tell somebody or email them and verify that they have the contract. And after verifying that they have the contract, you turn around and you give it to someone else. The reason for it was, or his excuse for the reason why we didn't receive the contract, was the fact that the insurance was not high enough and there was a company that they have been partnering with for years. Now, for me, that's another red flag, because regardless of the insurance not being high enough, which is just a phone call away and a payment away to obtain that amount of insurance, you verbally told us and you sent it to my email that we do have the contract. So that's one, was a little iffy situation. And then the second of which was that he said that he went with the contractor, the contractor subcontractor that they've been dealing with for years. But my question to that is, how is it that you're going with those guys when they should have been doing all of the guinea pig grunt work, running around, taking pictures, doing this and doing that? Instead, you have us do that, and then you turn around and you give them the contract. And it's, it was just kind of a situation to me where it's frustrating, because how do you go from you have it to, we changed our mind, they have it now? It is what it is. It's a loss in our book, but at the same time, it's really a loss in those guys' book, because how we do business is not the way that they've done business, and that is not the way to do business. So with that being said, if they ever needed a contractor in the future, there's plenty of people out here, especially in Minnesota. There's a lot of all around the world, there's new businesses going out every single day. With that being said, there's somebody else they're going to run that game on, but they won't get a chance to run that game on us a second time. So when it comes to any other contracts that they have, if they're slammed, if they figure they'll take us on again, we're going to have to, deny the opportunity, because you fool me once, you won't get a chance to fool me again. In a nutshell, that's pretty much what happened. And it's disappointing, because I've actually hired a few employees for that specific business, by itself, because of how large the contract is. The square footage is around 25,000 square foot. So I've hired people specifically for these contracts, because we already got people for other contracts. And myself as the owner, I'm not one of those people who just sit around and tell people, you go there, you go there, you go do this, and you do that. I lead by example, and the best way that I know how to lead by example is being in the forefront. I wouldn't have anybody doing anything that I wouldn't do. So when it comes to the residential services that we offer, window cleaning, gutter cleaning, carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, you name it, I've done it all. When it comes to the commercial services, the same exact services plus more, stripping and waxing, so on and so forth. Again, I lead by example, so I've done it all firsthand. I wouldn't have any of my employees out there in the field doing things that I've not done, because that's just not leadership in my book. Look at Jeff Bezos or something like that, for example. The way he started his company was in a small garage, but he was forefront of it. Before he left out of the position that he was in, he was still more, forefront of it, which means that, company is a lot bigger. He's not doing the work by himself, but he's the name of the company. Aside from Amazon, you hear Jeff Bezos, or when you think of Jeff Bezos, you hear the word Jeff Bezos or the name Jeff Bezos. You think of Amazon or the Blue Origin or anything else, and you see how far he's come in the amount of years that he's been doing it. The name goes on. Richard Branson, I can say tons of people who actually are in front of their business and they run it with them included. Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk. It's a lot of people that I could kind of mention when it comes to the people that I listen to, or somewhat of my mentors, or my mentors in general. With that being said, the way that they run their business is the way that I like to run my business, is being in the forefront of the business and never behind the business. You can lead from behind as long as you're pushing the team, but if you're not pushing the team initially, your business won't get off the ground. With that being said, this is the reason why you always see me as the forefront of the company, not only because I like to lead by example, but because I'm a workhorse. I've been working since I was 9 years old, and whatever position I need to fill or whatever position I need to be in and make sure that we're moving accordingly, that's what I will do, to make sure that we see the outcome that I and the team have put together as far as what goals we want to reach. We continue to push the limit. This is every single day. So when it comes to this contract or any losses like this, one, I want to say that we won't be taking any more losses like this, or we'll try not to minimize them for sure. Analyze everything, get everything in writing, and just make sure that we're not taken for granted or taken advantage of moving forward in the future. And then the second thing is that when it comes to any other contracts that we may receive, we're going to continue to push the limit, over exceed, and do the best that we can for any job that we have, period. Again, this is Jonathan with Brown Janitorial Services, and I wanted to go ahead and just explain to you guys about the losses and not necessarily glorify the wins. I'll see you guys in the next video.